Uh, whoa. Your dad's here. Might want to
She,
keep it going.
she, she, she just like curls up, goes to sleep.
I think she was
Um,
talking metaphorically, Stefan. Stephen. Steve.
Achtung! Achtung! No, no, this will not happen
No,
again.
James.
Steve picks her up, and says it's all right, Finbar, and picks her up and sets off down the street towards his house.
Can't believe I
Like,
got away with that one. Oh, hello, you two.
Thingamy, so this old man, you'd actually recognize this old man. His name's High Priest Elaine. He's quite a prominent figure in the town. He's like the town healer, but you've never actually spoken to him before, like on a session. You'd probably have bumped into him at some point. But it's literally he's been written in for like, if X happens, this guy might show up. But you've just never done any of those things.
Ah, Father Payne.
High Priest Elaine.
Elaine?
You've as a
Isn't that a woman's name?
not now, Finbar.
Ella kind of chuckles a little bit.
I look
Your-
at It's a girl's name, right?
Your tongue will get you in trouble. And he
What are you going to do? Heal
he,
me?
he hobbles off down the street, and he's actually you'd probably catch the glint of a you know when old people have that smile where they're like, I know everything because I'm old. That exactly, they have a specific smile for that. Yeah, he's
Is
kind
it
of
Kappa face?
it's just Kappa face. And he's walking slowly down the street, and if you were to watch him, you'd see he stops at every unconscious person, and or if like tries to heal those that are still alive.
I look to the woman for me and the dwarf. Say, are you all right? I mean, you've done a lot of bleeding on my drive.
I look up. What kind of state is his house in?
The most of the front's gone, and there's still a fair amount of gas pouring out of it. Not pouring
Cool.
out. There's still like a bit of gas.
Seeping out. Yeah. I look at this man and I say, maybe you want to get the rest of your house's affairs in order before you worry about your drive. And then I spit blood on the floor.
Oh no, it does that sometimes. Don't worry. Who are you?
I'm paying you no attention right now. I'm too busy helping Ella up.
Ella accepts the help and kind of brushes herself down and turns around to Finbar and is like, my name is Ella, and holds out a hand.
Finbar, you might have heard of me. And I take your hand.
You haven't heard of him.
Yeah, she just kind of looks at you quizzically as like, am I meant to have heard of you?
Hey, lot of them.
She doesn't actually say that, but it's quite obvious on her face.
Yeah. Yeah. Finbar, doesn't pay attention. So I haven't seen you two around here. What are you? Adventurers, travelers, merchants, whores? I look to the dwarf. With a wink.
We're adventurers. We came on the last ship, but
Oh, the last.
I don't think the rest of the ship made it.
You see, we are shipwrecked here.
Shipwrecked on the place we were meant to be coming to.
Just an odd question, but was there any chocolate on the ship you were on, or?
Yes,
Perhaps-
I did notice a distinct smell of chocolate in the air. I do believe, James, just for meme's sake, can I say this? I do believe that some of the crew were wearing it upon their skin.
Let's go with it.
Ah, how? Yes, no, that makes sense. Were they feminine and a bit busty and?
They
Mainly
No,
dwarven men.
They were
Well, exactly.
rather short,
busty
stout.
like yourself and. Anyway, well,
I produce the like an animalistic growl from the back of my throat at that.
thank you, lot for following, my friend. That's 193. We're 7 away.
7 away from
Oh,
a charity.
God.
7 away from a 12-hour charity live stream, boys.
Oh my
And
lord.
They're loving it.
girls and other.
Ella turns
Well
to
groomed.
Finbar and is like, so what's going on?
You're welcome, by the way. I saved both of you. I got you up, I said to the dwarf, and York did the other one. Well, it appears that we've been attacked by drow.
Drow?
They're dark elves, dark skin elves attack us sometimes. I kill them mostly, as I have done here. I've saved my good woman and the two of you. Hence why you may have heard of me. I am
the
Finbar.
woman who was bleeding to death on the floor, right?
Well, yes, I saved her. Better than you did, sir. I may say so myself.
I just
We arrived and she fell to the floor.
I look pointedly at your house and then say, one could assume from your general demeanour that you were not in charge here.
No, I'm merely in charge of certain things, such as the adventures, the tales, any form of entertainment in Coldport. I am in charge of.
Ah, so nothing relevant. Please take me to your superior immediately.
I don't have a superior.
I say, huh?
Either
Well,
in station
clearly
or
you're
in
not
life.
even entrusted with being involved in high-ranking decisions. So I will bid you a good day, and
Well,
I
actually,
will pass.
I saw Alexander. He's dead. So have a nice day then, I suppose. Try not to get killed again. All right.
Ella's still standing with Finbar. It's like, so has all the fighting stopped?
I've just realised that Finbar. How tall are you?
He's not a tall human. I
He's
think-
like 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8", average size.
Yeah, 5'8", and she's 6'2" in plate armor with
Yeah.
a great sword.
Oh, yeah,
This is
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
interesting.
Four
yeah.
javelins and a bullwhip.
I'm
Four javelins.
Finbar is very much trying to, amp himself up. So, what's your name again? It was Ella. Ella.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful name, Ella. So, adventure brings you here, you say?
Something along those lines. But right now,
I've known my fair share
is
of
there
adventuring
anywhere I
myself.
could... Have you now?
Oh, yes. Yes, I have. Anyway, perhaps you'd like some lodgings. I'd offer you my house, my room, but...
But there doesn't seem to be much of it left.
No, there appears not to be. Never mind. We'll just go to the secondary mansion later on.
The secondary mansion?
Yeah. Yes. This is just the.
This is a mansion to you.
It was before it exploded. It's much smaller now because it blew up.
It looks like the front wall has blown off.
It
Not
might look that way.
another
It
3
might...
stories.
Anyway, let's just go to the tavern, woman. Ella, even. Come with me, my dear. And I try and place. I try and put my arm around her shoulder, but it's just too high and up, and I to go for the.
She
I
gets
go for
down
head
on her
scratch.
knees.
I go for. Wow, my lady, it's far too inappropriate for that. It's.
No.
Okay, Ben, you are. So you're looking for who?
Will, you are just... Oh, that's just wrong. I'm
So you're looking for whoever's in charge, are you, Ben?
I'm so sorry.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so from speaking to the people around town, you'd be directed to Major Yorick, he's the commander of the military forces here. The name would obviously ring a bell to you because you had briefly met him in the past.
Yes.
However, you'd be directed to the large stone tower on the edge of town.
Cool. I go there.
Cool. So upon entering, you'd see a lot of wounded people. The old man who woke you up is in there. Well, you'd probably know you probably have overheard his name.
Yeah.
But you see him tending to the sick and wounded, along with a couple of younger-looking women and a man, an elf man, and his what you would guess from your limited experience of elves to be kind of in his middle ages, but like 400, and they're treating the injured.
Are they these sort of guards around?
There's the only guards that are in the room are being treated.
Thank you
Yeah,
for it,
no, that's
Jacob
what I mean.
Boom. Welcome.
Right, which case, thank you very much. I instead abandon sort of that and immediately like sort of drop my my warhammer and my oh god.
Shield.
Yes, I will go for the I will go to try and help any way I can medically with.
Cool. So we'll. Do you want to roll me a medicine check? As you're
Yeah.
as you're kind of going past, Elaine, High Priest Elaine grabs you. What did you roll?
I haven't checked.
17.
17.
17.
I'm going to say I've seen quite a few wounds in my
yeah,
days, and I know the basis of.
Given your background, this is probably your medical area of expertise if you had one. Given
Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of slash wounds, and you probably spend like a decent amount of time, helping out in this kind of medical area.
Absolutely.
You'd kind of you'd meet a couple of these people. You'd pretty much spend time doing as you were told, helping treat the wounded. So what do you do for the next couple of hours, Finbar and Ella?
Right, I take her to the bar.
Ella would.
I guess. Find someone in charge. Like I wanna find like Darius or my friend Ishak and stuff. Find out if they're okay.
Cool. We'll do it off cam because obviously they're other player characters.
Yeah,
they're both fine. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah. I turn to Ella and say, I'm like, I got her a drink or something, and I'm like, well, it seems like for the most part people are okay. Seems like the fighting for now is over.
Wait,
but...
is this in Darius's tavern?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like someone having like their leg amputated on the table on the other side.
Yeah. Seems like everything's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say like Darius is what he's done is he's cleared all the tables and like they're basically like laid out like as he's brought out like all the bedding and stuff like that, and he's in the process of cutting it into strips.
Darius, can you get us a beer?
Get
us a beer, Darius.
Suffice to say, because I'm not having someone roleplay two characters, it just gets confusing.
Why?
Darius is doing medical things.
Not in the same session.
Okay.
We had a conversation about this, Josh. Darius is doing medical things to the best of his ability. There's a few people in here. The end.
Yeah, I know. I say everything seems to be okay. Seems like you know how to handle that big sword of yours. And
Great sword.
it is rather great, I suppose, in this light.
That's what it's called.
Right.
It's a great sword.
You've named your sword. Well,
Not a
must
no,
be a rather
not a
famous
big
sword. I haven't heard of you. Huh. Perhaps I should have.
James,
Anyway.
you know what I said about not randomly shooting people?
You have a gun.
You don't have anything to shoot him with, so.
No, but I do have a great sword to chop his head off with.
Right. So I say.
But no.
We should probably go find Yorick. He's the one who's supposedly in charge here, although for all I've seen, he's just got to let everything go to pot around here, as you can see, my house and things. And my bloody chocolate paint.
Before we do anything, though, I would like a spare 10 minutes.
Oh well.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, James.
Are you going to cast
have a
level 2?
girlfriend. I probably
Are you?
should.
Is that the one that we saw die within seconds of turning up and you doing not a lot?
I understand your point. Let's go.
So what, you want to spend 10 minutes casting a certain spell?
Yes.
But what does it look
Certain.
like? So you're doing it
Finbar.
in front of Finbar. What does it look like? What do you do?
To be honest, it doesn't look very good at all.
It takes 10 minutes, so you probably have to do something. It's vocal and somatic, so you're doing things with your body and mouth. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, I didn't even go there. We took it there.
Moving on. You're
But
doing...
yeah, she finds someone fairly quiet away from the man who's having his leg amputated. Probably in the stables around back.
I'll probably watch what you're doing.
Somewhere. And
Yeah, if you do this in my tavern, Darius is going to kill you.
No, you're not.
it's nothing bad.
At the moment, moving on.
And yeah, she sits down and she meditates, and there's some odd chanting, and she waves her hands about a bit, and it's not really that interesting at all.
Yeah, and what happens at the end of this 10 minutes?
A pretty tiger appears.
Yes, a Siberian tiger. Or
Where did that come from?
Snow tiger. Just fades into view, Finbar.
Okay.
It's like walking towards you, and it's like it's walking out of some mist, but it's just kind of materializing and appears, and it walks up and just nuzzles Ella.
Right, shall we go find Yorick? I don't want to ask questions.
She looks at him. She's just like, I should stop watching. I should stop letting people watch me do that. It kind of freaks them out a bit.
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah. Right, let's go find Yorick, and we set off.
Cool. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. I set off, and I've got a very pretty Siberian tiger.
The sun's starting to
Adding on
rise.
the
You
side.
get a lot of weird looks. If it was just a normal day, people would probably stop you and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But it's like, given what's just happened, you're walking past like people's exploded homes and like things are on fire. Just the last.
And I'm an eagle with the Siberian tiger.
Yeah. And yeah. So you'd walk in. So as you walk up, and actually. I'm just gonna say, for convenience's sake, Ben, you'd probably just be finishing up, and you'd probably just be heading up as well. Maybe you'd just be round the next spiral to them. You hear the following conversation going on upstairs. So first of all, you hear Steve say, "It's a fool's errand, Yorick. It'd be a death sentence to us all." And you hear Yorick say back, "Better to risk it now while we have the strength to fight rather than waiting for them to kill us one by one. Really think your precious wall's going to stop them?" And then you hear the calm voice of High Priest, and he says, "This bickering serves no one but our enemy. We cannot stay here, but we should not attack. Steve is right in that respect. They are not our only options. Perhaps we ought to look elsewhere for a safer place to relocate to. Magister Salinar, gods protect him, was the only reason this location held any value, and now he's been dead a mere few hours, and look at it." And then you arrive. Ben first, followed by Ella and Finbar. A couple of seconds later, just like as Elaine's finished saying that, and the Steve and Yorick are kind of stewing at each other. And Elaine, seeing you arrive, says, Finbar, I'm sure you're a man with opinions. You'd like to weigh them in?"
Of course I would. Hello, this is, obviously, you know me, I'm Finbar, and this is Ella, and this is a dwarf. Now, the way I see things, we've had a situation, and this situation can be dealt with if you put the right people in positions to do them. I.e., me. And maybe some of my friends, because they're good at things. Like, we get things
Ella
done here.
sniggers slightly.
I don't mean to be rude to you, Yorick, heaven forbid, but since you've been in charge, things seem to have been going pretty badly. So,
Yorick bristles.
I'm just saying. But perhaps it's time for a little change of plan from the Yorick formula, because so far the Yorick formula equals dead town. You know what I'm saying, Elaine?
He gives a diplomatic look to you. He doesn't appear to present any being swayed either way.
Exactly. I knew you'd agree with me. So
then, what would you have us do?
Well,
what would your advice be?
What are your plans so far? What are the options you're weighing up?
Well, Yorick goes to Steve goes to jump in and start talking, but Elaine kind of holds up a calming hand and says, Yorick here is of the opinion that we should find the home of these drow and, well, bring war to them.
Yeah.
Steve thinks we should bunker down.
Bunker? Like bunkers.
Build a wall around the town, arm the populace, and try and ride out the storm. I, on the other hand, am of the opinion that it's best we simply move take the people, find somewhere else more defensible and safer to live.
Right, because pretty much everything here is blown up, right? I mean, what's still intact? I haven't had a chance to look around.
Some of the houses, one of the taverns.
So basically everything that defends us has been wiped out.
We still have some of the guard left.
How many? How many did we lose?
Yorick says 18 remaining.
Out of the initial...
40.
Right, so we're at half strength. A little under. And we don't know how much we hurt their numbers. To be honest,
We're still counting their dead.
well, me and Ishtuak previously wiped out a whole load of them. You were there, Yorick. We killed how many? Hundreds? 100?
Around that.
Yeah. And we've got 18 men, and your men are well trained, some of them. They're pretty good at standing still and looking out at the cold snow. I'll give them that. They're pretty good at that. But they're not drow, and the way I see them, drow at the moment seem to be better fighters than us. Certainly, some of the guards. About 22 of them. Pretty bad at fighting.
He opens his mouth and then just doesn't bother.
You can't argue with me. Can't argue the facts. So yeah, I say we're outnumbered. We haven't got defenses. We don't know how many numbers they have. We can't fight them as well as they can fight us. It's not a fair fight. They know where we are. We don't know where they are. So even if you were going to attack them, Yorick, where would you go? Some random cave?
Well, from the report we had back from the Tower of Light, they came from the north. There were unexplored caverns coming off of the cave that we were in. Want to try those?
Random caverns, Yorick. You understand, my friend. You don't know they're there.
Yorick,
you could
okay.
be sending off these
Yorick,
men
so
to
Yorick,
death.
Yorick slams his hand on the table and says, "Well, what's your plan then?"
What Elaine said. We should move out. This place isn't safe. You know it's not defensible. You're a smart man, Yorick. I mean, you do well to hide it. A lot of the time, you trust me. It's been. I had to roll pretty well on my insight to see through. No, I know that this is a bad decision. Sending off men into a random cave that could just get them killed. What if we lose more men there? Who's going to defend the people at home?
Roll me persuade, Finbar.
Cool. I want to say, I know you think I'm shallow and an idiot, but there are lives at stake here. And I may not care about their lives, but I know that you people do. And my job often means that there needs to be people to play for. So, yeah. And,
Persuade.
persuasion.
Roll it
I
with
rolled
inspiration.
a-
Well, I was going to say roll it with inspiration. Sorry, roll it with advantage for that beautiful speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way, Yorick says, "Very well. It pains me, but you've got a point. We agreed, Steve." And Steve nods, says, "Can't fault the logic." Elaine says, "Well, where would you suggest we go?"
Are there any settlements we know of? Obviously, the Tower of Light, they've got good defenses there, but we couldn't probably house everyone there forever. Perhaps we could house people there for a while whilst we found a good place away from the drow. If they're in the north, maybe, as Yorick suggested, perhaps it's best to go east or west.
There's obviously the outpost that I heard you and Darius discovered.
Yeah, yes, of course. That
How
has,
big could you fit 150 people there?
There were like 3 or 4 dwarves living there before, weren't there?
There were like 6.
Six.
There were 6 living there.
So
There wasn't space to house that many people there. If you could get that many people in, but there wouldn't be much space to move.
Yeah. But there was land outside, wasn't there? There was land outside.
Yeah. There was actually fertile farmland outside it,
Yeah,
and there's
so-
a water source.
I say there's arable land outside that place. It may not be a permanent solution, but there's land there to grow food. There's caverns to store food and things in, the old, the sick, and we can build houses from there. We're backed up against a mountain. We're not surrounded. I know we're not at a port, Like here, it's quite useful to get things like chocolate body paint in, for instance. Just a random example there, but
High Priest Elaine looks very confused.
don't worry. But I mean, it might be a better shot than just going out into the wilderness with women and children and elderly.
Baron sort of clears his throat and says, I don't wish to be the bringer of more bad news, but I myself and my traveling companion here, we arrived on one of the ships, or would have if we had not awoke in what I assume is the remains of the ship.
Elaine says, that's problematic. And like Yorick's brow furrows, Steve's like brushes his forehead. It's telltale signs of okay.
It's bad. Yeah. So without any supplies being able to be shipped in from the mainland, I must ask, how long would it take to rebuild a settlement such as this? It must have taken quite a task to get everything built.
I think the mage just kind of clicked his fingers and it happened.
Magister Salinar was one in a million, though. He was a very powerful wizard.
I wince at the was. I say, he is no longer with us, I assume.
A matter of hours ago.
Listen,
Did you not? Yep.
Sorry, I say, listen, I hate to put a down on things, but this is just a suggestion. Is there any way we could get women and children out of here, back to the mainland, if it's not safe? Is there a way we...
We have a single fishing vessel, big enough to carry maybe 4 people.
Right, okay. So we're stuck here, basically.
Unless we can find one of the other vessels that took a different party here. Marcosis, the madman, took one of the vessels some time ago.
He went west, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Perhaps he found something there to mean he didn't want to come back. A new settlement, perhaps.
He might have sent word, though.
Are we not on the? Are we not on the west coast?
No, you're on the. As far as you're aware, you're on the south coast.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay, that's where the confusion came from earlier because it's on the.
Yeah, we are here
That's
at
okay.
Coldport.
Yeah, he says, it might be worth looking into.
But the dwarf outpost to the east also could hold people. So perhaps...
My ears prick up at this and I sort of say, sure. It's a dwarven outpost.
They were... Those big dwarves from before, they were with the drow. They're not your kind as such. They look slightly different. I don't know if you know about them.
I said, well, in which case I can say that they sport some fine armor, and, well, if their buildings are anywhere near well-crafted as their weapons and armor, and are large enough to accommodate their increased size, then one